Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about how to sell on Amazon. Okay, so for the most part, just depend you're a typical college student, you bought some books that your professor says you need them for the class, and once the class is over, you want to sell it because there's no way in hell you're going to wake up one day in the morning and say, hey, let me just go do some calculus too, let me just do some biology or some physics, just for the hell of it. Let's just face it, we want to finish school and get the hell out of here so we could get a good career. Okay, so let's see how to sell stuff on Amazon. For the most part, I'm gonna be talking about how to sell things like books because that's all I really have to sell. Okay, then you really have two choices. You can either sell it to a company and then they'll sell it to somebody else. That's kind of hard. It's like basically a third person or the middleman. We heard this before. Basically, you could either sell it to Check or Textbooks or us. They'll give you like maybe $7 or $9. Or you could sell it online like on Amazon or eBay. It takes longer, but you get more money. You basically cut out the middleman. And that's what I like about Amazon and eBay. So here's some do's and don'ts. Okay, for the most part, I've seen so many people like me who they have a book, let's just say, I don't know, a calculus book. They want to sell it on Amazon and they put it the cheapest and it sells fast, but you get really no money. So what you have to do is you have to don't put the cheapest. Put a little bit higher so you could make more money. Because once you sell that book, you're not gonna have it again. So you're wasting a cost of cost of an opportunity. Okay then. So let's just say I get my calculus book, which I did. I sold it. I was kind of being a little bit too, I guess, ignorant. I didn't know how it worked. I sold it on Amazon for $45. It was the cheapest. The second cheapest was like at 55, so I could have sold it at 50, quite frankly, but I just wanted to sell. That's what I mean. I should have just thought about it more thoroughly. I wasted a good book. Anyways, it sold like 2 days later. They sold it for 45, but the Amazon fees and the shipping fees, it came out to be to $35. So I lost, so it's $10. And here's one thing I hate about Amazon. They give you a shipping credit technically of $4, but what I hate the most is sometimes it doesn't cover it, and you technically have to pay for it. I mean, I talked to the sales representative, and she told me they give you a credit, but when you do the math, if you literally do the math, you're paying for the shipping. I know most of you don't believe me, but I think the people who have sold anything on Amazon or eBay more than 2 or 3 times, I think they're starting to realize, hey, it's costing me, it's coming out my pocket. And yeah, I don't want to get an argument, so just agree with me or I don't know, sell something online and then tell me. Okay, then. So that's what I did. Is I sold this calculus book for $45. Then the shipping and the cost and everything came to $35. So I technically lost $10, and I could have sold it for even higher, like 50 or 55, maybe even 60. It was actually good conditions. Anyway, so I'm just rambling on. What I noticed about everything, it's you have to think about like a business, and in every business you have to realize it costs me money. You want to sell as high as you can. You want to keep your costs low. You basically want to keep as much money as you can. So what I did is I always look for the cheapest or free way. Anything that's cheap or free, I love. Um, I have never gone to a post office and hey, let me buy a box that I could find on the store like for $2 or $3. Seriously, they're trying to sell me a box for $3. So what I did is I just went into my house, the cereal box. I took out the cereal and put my book there, and I ship it in there. The big problem is that most people don't realize it, but there's either two ways of shipping things, either by the weight and pound or by the destination. Most of the time, when it's like books, like it's a lot cheaper if you do it by the pound or by the ounce. So it depends. Some books can cost you anywhere between 4.30 to actually $2 to ship. On average, if you want to ship a book, it costs about 3.23, depending on the book, of course, and the destination. But on average, that's what I've seen. So yeah, so what I have done is instead of buying a box, I have just got it from a cereal box. I remember I wanted to ship something, so what I did is I used an envelope. it was an old envelope, and I just shoved it in there, put the directions. The envelope costed me nothing, and that's also what I want to talk about. Is if you want to sell and ship books, what I notice is 99% of the time, just put an envelope. Quite frankly, in their books, you could draw this book up and down, but they're not gonna break. They're not fragile like glass. And don't don't waste on money like insurance, tracking, unless if they pay for it. Or if it's bugs, don't. But if it's something expensive, like a computer that you want to sell for $300, I would recommend it. But if it's something really trivial, don't, because it costs you money and you have to be extremely accurate. That's what I notice about businesses. Is if you want to be a good business, you have to be extremely accurate to the last penny. You don't want to say $5 or $6. That's what I notice about life is you have to put in your costs, your profits. You have to do so many things. Okay, so before, let me just sum up everything in 30 seconds. Okay, try to sell as high as you can. Try to make it when you ship. Try to keep your costs low. Try to get it. See if you could get it for free, or ship something for free or cheap. Never ever ever waste more than you have to. Quite frankly, and that's a game of life. It's just that's just business. Sell as high as you can. Keep your costs low. Um, Try to please the customers. And the most important part is you have to be extremely accurate. You have to be bitching for a penny, quite frankly. I mean, when you go into the store, you want it the cheapest as possible. You want to write down in your notebook everything. You have to be bitching about, oh, if I do it this way, it'll be 30 cents cheaper. You don't realize that, but if it's 50 cents cheaper and you do it on 10 items, you just save yourself $5, or you could have wasted yourself $5. You don't realize that when you go into business, if any of you have ever worked with like the boss is always stingy as fuck. He's cheap as hell. Because for a good business, you have to be bitching about the money, about every last penny.